Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel, the Xanadu Chronicles. My name is Frank and today I'm going to show you table settings. Now I'm going to do something that I hope is a little bit different because there's a million videos out there right now and I'm hoping that I'll be the first and you'll love mine the most. But I'm going to do something different in the sense that I'm working with the supposition that most people only have one set of good dishes, whether it's something you got from your wedding or passed down from a family member or however you may have acquired it. Most people typically only have one good set of dishes where they have, you know, the cups and the saucers and the bowls and the plates and all that kind of jazz. I obviously don't have that issue. I've got a little bit of a problem here, but a good problem, a good problem. And so I'm going to do two different setups for you. One which I'm going to call your simple setup, and one's going to be a little bit more enhanced and eclectic. So I'll call this my eclectic setup and my simple setup. And I'm doing it because I want to show you that even with your most simple one set table setting, with just a couple additions, you can really still have something that is just as beautiful, just as elegant as your more eclectic, more amped up table setting, which is what we're typically seeing nowadays. You know, people are mixing things up, which is fantastic. But again, those are people like myself who are typically hoarders and have multiple sets of dishes and can do umpteen combinations with what they have versus what the normal person typically has. And speaking of which, let's talk about that. So most of the items for a table setting that people have are a set of dishes. Typically, most people have a set of good wine glasses. And then finally, most people have a full set of silverware, decent silverware, not that mismatched stuff that you've got 5 forks from here and 7 spoons from there. But even then, I mean, actually, if you did it right, you could have a table just full of mismatched silverware, and it'll be just as beautiful. But most people at least have one full set of nice silverware that they can use for those occasions where they pull out their dishes. Now, I'm going to digress a little bit because I want people to start thinking about getting out of that mindset. You don't need to just pull out your dishes at Christmas or Easter or whatever it is. You know, when you're having a casual get-together with friends, pull out those dishes and use them because they're just sitting in the cupboard. Why not use them instead of those regular everyday dishes that you and your spouse or family may use? Pull those suckers out and use them because they're just things, and if you're not going to enjoy them now, you can't take them with you when you... So enjoy them now, basically is what I'm saying. Now that I've digressed, I'm going to get my train of thought back. Okay, so talked about what most people do have. Now these are the things that most people don't have, and that I want you to start thinking about possibly integrating into your inventory of dish paraphernalia and dinnerware items, okay? First thing are chargers. Chargers, for those of you who do not know, are simply those decorative plates that serve as a frame to the setting. Typically your plates and so on, your bowls and so on. But it's an underplate. It typically has texture or pattern, and it's just meant to make it prettier. That's all it is. So, you know, you don't have to have 5 sets like I do. Maybe one good set that works with a lot of different dishes, which I hope people will ultimately integrate into their inventory. But if you don't, at least one good set of chargers will really help to elevate your setting a little more. Water glasses, believe it or not, most people don't have water glasses. A nice set to put on the table. Not that set that you drink out of every day that's got scratches on it or it's cloudy because you used it a million times or washed it a million times in your dishwasher. You know what I'm talking about. Just a good set of glasses. And here's a little tip or trick. If you've got a bar and you've got your other glasses, your barware, pull those suckers out and use them as your water glasses. There's nothing saying that you can't. Just because it's a Tom Collins glass doesn't mean you can't use it for your water or whatever it might be, a tumbler or whatever. Use them. So they don't have to be just relegated to what their intended purpose was, right? Good steak knives. Most people don't have good steak knives, and no one wants to be sawing at or hacking at a beautiful cut of steak on your plate You know, there's nothing worse than that. So, and then doing it on top of your beautiful china, whew, get some good steak knives, please. I've got a good recommendation for you. And again, I'm not being paid by anybody. I'm not being sponsored by anyone. I just like these things, and I want to share them with you so that you can have some good stuff. And you will have to pay, you know, decent money for that, because good steak knives really are worth it. Once you have a good set, you don't want anything else. Nice napkins. Most people don't have nice napkins, and a nice napkin is not a colored paper napkin folded in half. That is not a nice napkin, okay? That's a cocktail napkin. Use it for that, but don't use it at your dinner table, please. And heaven forbid, paper towels. Don't. Just don't. Go out, go to a good thrift store, go to estate sales, online auctions, wherever. There are plenty of sources out there for you where you can get inexpensive, amazing quality, beautiful pieces of real fabric, and it doesn't have to be just linen. It could be, you know, whatever fabric strikes your fancy, but get yourself a nice set of cloth napkins. With that, napkin rings. Now, I don't want it to cause any controversy in the design world, but I like napkin rings. Sometimes I use them, sometimes I don't. It depends on the setting, it depends on the meal. But I like to have napkin rings because, as I'll explain later on, there is a benefit to them that I think really helps. So I'll talk about it a little later, but napkin rings, consider that. Another thing most people don't have are at least one set of nice salt and pepper shakers. Get yourself a nice set of salt and pepper shakers, just one set. And again, you don't have to buy them new. But there are also a lot of inexpensive places if you do want to buy them new, if you're one of those folks that doesn't like to buy used, which go to your, you know, a Ross or a Marshalls. You can find yourself a nice set for a decent price, okay? And then finally, a nice pair of candlesticks, at least one nice pair of candlesticks. It can be in any finish you like, it can be ceramic, it can be wood, whatever. But get yourself a nice pair of candlesticks, because nothing is more beautiful than a dinner table that is set with the beautiful place settings and lights dimmed down and candle, or just eating by candlelight. Oh my gosh, beautiful. I mean, your meal could suck, but that candlelight is going to help a lot. So, a nice pair of candlesticks. Now, above and beyond that, what I would encourage you to get is everything that most people don't have on the list. But beyond that, I would highly suggest at least one other set of complimentary dishes. And again, the reason why I would say this is because it does give you a little bit more versatility. Just imagine you can mix and match. You can do it so that you have one setting, one pattern, and then the complementary in another. You know, there are just things you can do when you have these options that will elevate the table a little bit more. So again, I'm not gonna stop saying this, but Facebook Marketplace, thrift stores, antique stores, the set that I'm going to show you, I got for 50 bucks, and it's a service for 8. And it's got the dinner plate, it's got a salad plate, it's got a you know, soup bowl, it's got a small bread bowl or bread plate, it's got sugar bowls and service pieces, it's got dessert plates, coffee cups, saucers. So no excuse for, you know, not being able to find another set of dishes, because I see them everywhere and they're just waiting for you to bring them home. So find yourself a complimentary set of dishes. And to give you some ideas, say you have a floral set. This is your set that you have, something that's very florally. Maybe a complement to that would be something very geometric, because in the design world, geometrics and florals go beautiful together. So a plaid or a stripe, or you know, just a simple checker. Find something that looks good with your floral set that is in a geometric pattern. That will look great. Next, if you have a very, very, you know, very patterned set, something with just all over pattern, think about getting something that's a solid color, or a solid color with a subtle texture to it, so that that complements one of the colors in your heavily patterned set. So think of a solid color. If you have a set with a small pattern, so a lot of times you'll see, and I have a set of these, where it's just the border, and it's intricately, you know, designed, but it's just the border around the plates, around the cups, and so on and so forth. And so that's what I would consider a small pattern. Think about getting something with a large pattern that complements that. So, you know, it's pretty self-explanatory. Something with a larger pattern, maybe like typically the borders are usually kind of scroll work or maybe little florals or something. Maybe get yourself a set of dishes with a seam in the center, that complements that border. So think about that, small pattern, large pattern. And then finally, something with the same color. So the obvious example for this is blue and white. People love them some blue and white. So if you've ever seen a blue and white table that has blue and white patterns that are all different, it works. It's a beautifully eclectic. I'm using beautiful a lot. I have to think of some more words. It's a lovely way of doing an eclectic table by having several sets in the same colorway. So blue and white is a good combination and a good example of that. So think about that when you're looking for your complementary set. Another thing I would like to encourage people to get is another full set of flatware. So I've got like 5 or 6 sets of flatware because just like dishes and glasses, I love them. And I would have more if my house was sustained, but I got to pull back somehow. But find yourself a complementary set. So most people have, silverware, I would love to have a full-on real silver ware set, but most people have silver plate, a nice set of that. Maybe get yourself something that's gold plated. It doesn't matter what the finish is, just get yourself a complementary set, another full set of flatware, so that you can, again, mix and match or integrate or however you want to kind of play with it. You have something else to work with. And again, the interest factor pops up several notches when you start integrating more pieces, more, not just the same old all the time, okay? And then finally, the last thing is, with a table, I always like to have some sort of centerpiece, right? And for me, I find that it's a lot more, if you're going to just get one decorative centerpiece, get a bowl, get a large bowl, a shallow bowl, but get yourself a bowl, because you can use a bowl to put fruits in, you can use a bowl to put moss in, a mound of moss, you can use the bowl and turn it into a floral container, versus a vase, which is beautiful. Vases can be awesome, and I love vases, and I have vases that I use, but if you're just going to get one extra decorative piece, get yourself a bowl, because the options that you can use that for are much greater than just a simple vase, okay? So now, I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to get to setting this table. And again, simple, basic set, basic in the best possible way, not worst possible. So simple set and eclectic set, okay? First of all, we're going to start with those chargers. And I've got several sets, but a good basic set would be rattan or wicker, because it goes with everything. No matter how casual your dinner is or how elegant it is, it just seems to work so well with just a variety of different patterns and colors and so on and so forth. You can never go wrong. But I've got a brass set, I've got a bronze set, and I got something else, I think. I've got a milk glass, large milk glass platters that I use as chargers, but they are the frame to the setting, okay? So we got there. Now, I'm going to grab, excuse me if I disappear from the screen, I'm going to grab my plates. Now this is the set that I said I bought for 50 bucks. It is a Noritake china, and it's from Japan, and the set is called Oriental. And as you can see, it's got a beautiful, there's that word again, it's got a gorgeous bamboo design on it, very simple. This is a mid-century set, and it's got various shades of teal and brown, soft browns, and even like a yellow chartreusey, almost golden color in the leaves as well. So I'm going to put these down. Now, as I set this table, because this is a simple set, you'll see what I do is I try to get people to see as much of the pattern as possible. Same with the eclectic set. So here I've got it on the top right, the bamboo. Here I'm going to put it on the bottom left of the setting, okay? And you'll see why in a minute. Now, in this meal, this imaginary meal, I'm serving an entree meal, of course, the entree, the main course. I'm doing a salad and I'm doing a soup. So the next would be the salad bowl, because you're going to eat the soup first, then the salad, then the entree. Okay? So now I'm going to get my salad plates. Excuse me again as I disappear. And as you'll see, for the simple set, same bamboo pattern, but now I'm going to put the bamboo in the bottom left, because now you can't see it, right there. But as you know, as each dish is revealed or removed, for each course. Then you get to see the one underneath. But putting on the left bottom, this is a jadeite plate. It's just an antique jadeite that I found at a consignment shop. And for this, I'm not going to put it in the center. There's nothing saying that this has to go in the center of my plate. So I am going to offset it to the top right edge of my plate here. So it's not centered. It's not lined up. It's upper edge, okay? I don't know why I tried to show that to you because it just didn't work and it's just kind of a little dumb, but oh well. Sometimes you do dumb things. All right, next, my soup course. So as you can see, I've got a footed milk glass bowl here, and for the simple setting, again, I'm going to go opposite because I have the bamboo on this side. I'm going to put the bamboo on the other side because it is at the top and it's going to be hiding the bamboo underneath. So as each time a plate is removed, they get to see the bamboo pattern again. Now for the footed bowl, you know what? So I've been collecting these milk glass scallop edged containers for a while. And I have various sizes. I've got really large ones and I've got smaller ones of this. But I've used this before as a soup bowl and I think it's great. But I don't actually recall or know what the original intent of these were, whether they're just for small floral arrangements or what. But I just, predominantly have found these at Goodwill. And every time I see one, like I said, I've got several sizes, so every time I see any of them, I pick them up because I like them and I can use them for desserts or soup or whatever. So that's going to go on my jadeite plate. Boom! Now you can already see there's a little bit more, visual interest going on this side because of what I'm doing with the pieces. But this is still beautiful. It's very simple. It's very elegant. And once the table is finished, you can see, if everybody had the same setting, it would still be a gorgeous, gorgeous setting. So next I'm going to do the glasses. Now I typically like to have, depending on how many courses you're having, and there's so many different things you can do, but the way I look at it is like, do whatever you want in terms of where you put, how many glasses you have out there, how fancy you want to be about it. I typically like to have at least one wine glass and one water glass. Now if there's going to be, again, if it's going to be a fancier dinner, you can have more glasses out there, or you can switch out the glasses as the courses come out to accommodate whatever the drink's going to go with it. But typically, if I'm going to throw a dinner party, people are going to have drinks in their hands to begin with, some sort of cocktail to start off, and then when we get to the table, a wine with the meal as well as water. So I'm going to pull the water glasses and the wine glasses out. Now, for the simple setting, I am pulling out a regular wine glass. And so you're like, Frank, that's a short glass for water. Yes, it is, because again, for my table, it's a smaller table, and I'm just thinking like I'm doing this for a dinner party here for 4 people, and of course, they'd be opposite of each other, but I like a smaller or shorter water glass versus a tall one, because as a person's eating, if they want to grab their wine, it's easier to grab your wine and not hit your water glass. So if the water glass is lower, then it's easier to grab your wine glass without necessarily knocking your water glass, right? And you put them at the corner. I keep saying corner, but this is round, so it's not a corner. But the edge of the charger there. I keep centering this because I'm anal, and as I keep looking down, I see it's not centered. So let me grab the eclectic mix again, but this time I collect colored glasses. I absolutely love colored glasses. So for this particular setting, because I told you the leaves, there's a little bit of yellowy chartreusey green in there, and as you can see, both of the water glasses have gold, but that one has a thicker edge, this one has a thinner edge, and it's because the way I look at it is this setting here, the eclectic one, I'm going to move it over just a little bit. The eclectic one, because it's got a lot going on, I'm keeping the decorative aspect of it a little bit simpler here versus, the bolder, bigger gold banding on this one, because it is a simpler setting, okay? So you got your wine glass and your water glass. Now next I'm going to put out my silverware. So, there are some rules about this, and I think you should definitely follow. Now, You're probably going, Frank, you're putting it on the table directly versus on a napkin. Well, yeah, because what I come to learn and realize is that as beautiful as it may be to put a napkin down on the table and put your silverware on it, it really is kind of a little bit of a nuisance because the person now has to take everything off of the napkin to put it on their lap, and it can be a little irritating. So as opposed to doing that, I like to put the napkins on the actual setting. So spoon and knife on the right, and fork on the left. Try to even it up, and you can't see that, but the glass table is beveled, so there's a little shadow edge here that I can see, the beveled edge, and that's what I line the bottoms of my silverware on because, again, OCD, and I can't help it, and I watched a little too much Downton Abbey, so that's what happens. Now let me do the same for the other side. Good steak knife. I mean, this sucker will. Be careful because, woo-wee! And the blade you want facing inward. Good steak knife. And I'm just going to let you guys know, and I'm not getting paid by anybody for this advertising, but this is a Victorinox knife and steak knife. And I did a lot of research before I got these, and so the reviews were fantastic on it. And so I decided to go with it, and I'm telling you, like butter! Like butter! Alright, so there's that. Now, napkins and napkin rings. Now, you don't have to use a napkin ring, but I do find it quite nice to have a napkin ring because it just kind of keeps it, keeps everything together. Plus, you can kind of fluff it out and make it pretty and all that kind of crap. But it can be just as beautiful to lay the napkin directly flat on top, or do what I'm doing, which is, so for this particular one, I'm just going to set it right in the center. Actually, not in the center, excuse me. Slightly off center because I want the bamboo to show. And then for this one, because it already is pretty dramatic, I'm going to put it in the bowl. I'm going to bend it slightly so that the napkin comes up and this pops up a little bit. So it's a little bit more, it's a little bit more dramatic. It's a little bit more like, hey, look at me, I'm a napkin sticking out of your bowl. Aren't I cute? So, okay, that's a little too much. It's a little pornographic there. The skirt's coming up too high. Calm it down, Chica, calm it down. There we go. And again, sorry, I'm going to fiddle with it until I get it right. So there's our napkins on the table. Again, simple but beautiful. Oh, I didn't even point out, look at this. My flatware. This one is a simple bamboo design. It looks like a bamboo stock, which I absolutely love. And it's a gold finish, if you can't tell from there. And this one's a little bit more intricate. It's actually a tie set that I bought. Both these sets I bought from people off of Facebook Marketplace. So, and I didn't pay more than $60 per each set, and I've got like a gazillion pieces of each of these sets because, they're, I don't know if you realize that in the mid-century time frame, a lot of people who were going to Asia for vacations bought these brass tableware sets, flatware sets, and they come with everything. Oh my God, I mean, I don't even know what they're all for, but they've got forks that are this small, and they've got serving pieces and everything, but they're beautiful. And this one is from the 60s, and as is the bamboo one. So, and they're both brass. So we have that. Now, this is your table setting. All I'm going to do now is add the decorative pieces, the pieces I was telling you about, like candlesticks. I've got a salt and pepper shaker, a decorative bowl, and I've got a little bit of a, kind of a bouquet that I'm going to put in the center here. But I'm going to show you how I would do it because I do like it to be a little offbeat. I don't like things to be so, regimented. I like there to be a little quirkiness to it. So think about that. Just something fun to look at versus, I mean, you could have a beautifully formal table and it would be great. But I mean, a little interesting nuance here and there, a little quirk there for people to spot is always a treat. So think about that kind of stuff. First thing I'm going to do, because it's one of my biggest pieces, and I'm sorry I'm off screen again, is, I don't know if you're going to see this, but I will show you a photo of it, this is actually a fake plant that I've had for years. It looks fantastic. I have moss in a terracotta pot. This is and again, all these pieces are from they're all secondhand, and nothing's new. The moss, and then this is from Portugal, this beautiful ceramic woven pot, planter, whatever, decorative planter. I collect those as well because they're just stunningly awesome. And then I've got a Asian stand that I've got it on. So there's that. Now, this is just a bowl of clementines or mandarins. And it's in, you can't see because I got things, but it is in a serving bowl from this set. And again, it's not like somebody's going to be eating a ton of these on the table, but if you put them on the table, look how beautiful that is, just to have that orange. Now it kind of makes things pop a little bit more. And it just adds some interest to the table. Some beautiful salt and pepper shakers that I got at an estate sale. And as you can see, I am not one of these purists who believe that your silver needs to be gleaming or silver plate needs to be gleaming all the time. I don't mind a little tarnish. Granted, I can understand the appeal of the shiny silver, but so I'm going to put them here. And again, I don't like things to be completely straight all the time or symmetrical. I like things to be a little off kilter. And the most controversial pieces I have are my mid-century candle holders, and I know what you're thinking. I know it. I can see it in your eyes, even though I can't see your eyes, but I can see it in your eyes. They're pornographic looking, I know, but they're not supposed to be, or I don't think they were intended to be, or maybe they were. I have no idea. But they go with the palette. They're really cute, despite the fact they look dirty as all get out. But I'm putting them on the table because, again, you know what? If someone gets a chuckle out of it because they do look a little dirty, then all the better. Something funny to bring home. So I'm going to put one on this side. And I'm sorry if you can't see it on camera, but, and I'm going to put one on this side. And then again, I'm just going to do some slight adjustments just so that, and I will show you, I will take pictures, overhead pictures for you, and I'll put it somewhere on screen or whatever, or integrate them in the video here, but that is it. That's my table. Again, for those of you who just have a simple, the set and some simple pieces, zhuzh it up just a little bit, add a couple more things, and you can, even with just your one set, with just a few items extra added to it, sorry, I had to fix that, it was too far away. Even with that, and just a couple extra things on the table, decoratively speaking, and you've got yourself a wonderful dinner service set that anybody would be happy to sit at and share a meal with you with. So thanks again. I will see you guys next week, and have a great week. Alrighty, bye.
If you haven't seen our previous videos, click on the links and watch away. Please share, like, and most importantly, subscribe to our channel. We'll do our best to keep you entertained and coming back for more. Bye for now.